Welcome to Show Me Firearms, and boys, you've been asking for it, and it's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. Introducing the fully upgraded Panzer Arms Benelli M4 clone. Today, we're gonna dive into the latest mods and upgrades that I've done on this M4 clone right here. Be sure to stick around because some of these mods were a little bit tricky to install, and it took some finagling to get them to work just right. But don't worry, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what you'll need to do if you want to install these same mods on your own M4 clone. And I'm also going to reveal the total cost of this entire build with the gun and all of the upgrades, and then we're gonna see if it was worth it or if you'd be better off just buying the actual Benelli M4. Upgrade number 5 on our list is this 2-point sling setup, which you may be thinking, that's super easy, super simple. Why are you showing that to us? Well, if you want to save some money on mounting your 2-point sling on the M4 clone, it's going to take a little bit of finagling. More on that in just a moment. But I've just got kind of a cheapo sling right here just for demonstration purposes. But the sling is still kind of cool. All you got to do, once you put it on, grab a hold of this strap right here, cinch it up, tightens it for you, and then it pulls the gun back into your shoulder and makes it easier to walk around with. If that's what you're wanting to do, all you gotta do is release it, pull on that, and you're good to go. Up front, we just have your standard QD mount for M-LOK rails up here. Nothing goofy about that. Where it gets a little bit tricky is if you have the adjustable stock on your M4 clone. First thing you gotta think about is they make these QD mounts that go into the little hole down here at the bottom, but the only ones I could find were like 50 bucks. I was not gonna spend $50 on a mount for a sling. So what I did instead is I took your standard M-LOK QD mount like we got up here, and I wanted to mount it on the little slot up here on the stock. But in order to do that, first thing I had to do was I had to take a Dremel and notch out the cheek riser on my stock so that it would fit the sling. And then on that slot itself on the stock, I had to file that just a little bit wider so that way I could fit that QD mount in there and then secure it with some M4 bolts. And it actually works really well. It's super secure, really sturdy. It's not gonna go anywhere. And these M-LOK QD mounts only cost like 15 bucks. So 15 bucks versus 50, that was a no-brainer. So if you're wanting to do a 2-point sling setup on your own M4 clone, I highly recommend doing it this way instead of, spending 50 bucks for a little QD mount that goes down there. Just get the $15 one for your M-LOK rails and then do a little bit of dremeling and you're good to go and you save yourself some money. Upgrade number 4 is the charging handle. This charging handle is the Benelli M4 enhanced charging handle from Midwest Industries. Now, this is kind of a small, seemingly insignificant upgrade, but it actually does add a heck of a lot to the gun because the stock charging handle, by comparison, was kind of small and it had a very smooth, slick surface. So especially if you had gloves on, it was kind of difficult to get a good grip on it as you're charging the weapon. This charging handle, by comparison, is a lot bigger and a lot beefier, so you just have more real estate to grab a hold of as you're charging the gun. And it's also got some very aggressive texturing on it. Just gives you a way better grip on it overall. So yeah, again, kind of a small item to upgrade, but it makes a big difference, especially like I said, if you got gloves on and it's cold outside or whatever, it makes it way easier to grab a hold of the charging handle to charge your M4 clone. By the way, if you're a fan of the M4 clone, why not show it off with this awesome new t-shirt design? We've got the fully upgraded Panzer Arms M4 clone right here with off-brand, which just seemed kind of fitting because this isn't the name brand M4. So be sure to hit the link in the description down below if you want to pick up your own off-brand t-shirt. Upgrade number 3 is the Streamlight ProTac HLX Pro weapon mounted flashlight. Now, this weapon light is advertised to be able to produce up to 50,000 candela and it's supposed to be able to shine up to 1,400 feet. That's definitely way further than what you're going to be shooting with a shotgun like this. This light uses a rechargeable battery pack, so that way you don't have to mess around with batteries if you don't want to, but it also does accept CR123A batteries, so that way if you're out in the field or whatever and your battery pack dies on you, you can simply throw some extra batteries in there and stay in the fight no matter what. We've also got this pressure pad, which I mounted up on the left side of the gun here, and that's perfect because my thumb kind of falls naturally right there. So all I got to do when I need to light that target up is hit that pressure pad, light comes on, and then once I take care of business, release it and it goes off. Now I wish I could show you guys using this light in the way that it's intended to be used, you know, actually lighting up targets and then shooting them after dark. Not going to be able to do that, unfortunately, because, you know, it's going to be kind of disturbing to other people to be having gunfire after dark. So can't do that. That's not cool. So here's some clips of just lighting up random stuff with the light after dark. I wish I could be actually shooting it after dark, but again, that wouldn't be cool. So this will just have to do, but you get the idea. This light is extremely bright and it's going to light up your targets no matter what if you need to take care of business after dark. Upgrade number 2 is this muzzle device. This is the Carlson's Tactical Breacher Choke Tube. Now, this muzzle device is pretty cool because you can run this thing with buckshot, with birdshot, with slugs, basically any kind of shot you want, and it's not going to give you any problems. Now, is there any kind of practical application for a muzzle device like this, like say home defense? Well, no. You don't know. It's not practical at all for home defense. So then why would you buy a muzzle device like this? Well, because it just makes the gun look so stinking awesome. I mean, look at that. It just sets that muzzle off so well, makes the gun look so aggressive with the ports on there, with the aggressive, sharp serrations on there. It's just perfect. It's a perfect complement to the rest of the gun. So should you buy a muzzle device like this? I mean, it's totally up to you, but I think you should because, again, it makes the gun look so darn cool looking. So, yeah, muzzle device for the win. Get one if you want to make your Benelli M4 clone look like the sickest shotgun that you've ever seen. And number 1 on our list of upgrades for the Panzer Arms Benelli M4 clone is the upgrade that you all have been requesting the most, the one that I've wanted to install the most, but it's also the one that's given me the most problems. But I finally got it to work. The magazine tube extension. Ha! At long last, I finally got one to work. This is the Panzer Arms M4 Tactical +2 magazine extension, and it works great. Now anyway, it did not work at first straight out of the box. This thing was actually a pain to install and to get it to work. Yeah, so straight out of the box, this mag tube extension was 1/8 of an inch too long. As you can see in this photo right here, the magazine tube cap is screwed all the way down. It will not go any further, but there's still that 1/8 of an inch gap. So that was, yeah, I was not happy about that when I tried to install this thing for the first time. So what I had to do was I took a hacksaw and cut 1/8 of an inch off of the end of the mag tube extension. So yeah, it took a little bit of doing, a little bit of finagling to get it to work. So just be aware of that if you want to install this same mag tube extension on your own M4 clone. You may have to do some cutting and filing to get it to work. But if you're willing to do that, yeah, you can get a +2 mag tube extension on your own M4 clone. And yeah, let's take a look at this thing loaded up with 7 rounds instead of just 5. Also, I didn't have to get a new mag tube spring with this extension. I'm still using the stock one that came with the gun, and it cycles just fine. So just to show you guys that I'm not lying about this mag tube extension actually working, I've got right here 7 rounds of number 8 birdshot. To show you guys it'll take 7 and not just 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, please. That's what I want to see. 7 rounds in that mag tube. As you saw, it cycled all 7 rounds of number 8 birdshot just fine with the stock OEM spring that came with the gun. So yeah, this gun, yeah, fully upgraded. and I love it. How about a couple of slugs real quick? And I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but with this Streamlight weapon light right here, even in the bright sunlight, I can still see it lighting up that target on the left there. I don't know if it's coming across for you guys on camera, but even the bright sunlight, yeah, this thing still throws out a heck of an amount of light. So, let's do some slugs real quick, shall we? Safety off, that would help. Yeah. If you guys don't have yourselves a Panzer Arms Benelli M4 clone, and you haven't completely tricked it out with all these mods and upgrades, some of which, you know, may or may not actually be practical, yeah, you need to do it because this thing is just too stinking awesome. All right, let's talk about the total cost of this entire build. The gun, all the mods and upgrades. So, the gun was $400, brand new out of the box. Stock, $56. The sling and QD mounts, both front and rear, a total of $47. Charging handle, $29. Red dot, $95. Shell holder, $120. M-lock rail, $160. Vertical grip was $20. Light, $124. Muzzle device, $65. Mag tube extension, $24, which brings us to a total of $1,140 for the gun and all the upgrades. The actual name brand M4 costs you $2,000. And remember, the name brand M4 straight out of the box, brand new, is not going to have your adjustable stock. It's not going to have your shell holder, your M-lock rail system, none of the cool stuff, right? It's just going to be a stock bare bones M4, name brand M4. It still costs you almost double of what the off-brand M4 costs with all these awesome mods and upgrades. So to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, spend almost half of what the name brand M4 costs and get yourself a gun with all these tactical upgrades. And you Benelli guys out there, like, why the hate for the off-brand M4? Why do you say it's unreliable? Why do you say it's junk? Have you ever shot one? I've owned this off-brand M4 for just over 2 years now. And in those 2 years, I've not had one single issue or malfunction with it. It's done nothing to indicate to me that it's not a reliable gun. It's worked flawlessly for me over the last 2 years and going back for multiple videos. You can check out the entire playlist if you want to see this gun from day one. But yeah, so over the last 2 years, this gun, it's proved its reliability to me, and it's just a heck of a lot of fun, and you can upgrade the heck out of this thing and still spend about half of what it would cost you to buy a stock bare bones name brand M4 with none of the cool stuff on it. So yeah, if you guys are on the fence about buying a off-brand Panzer M4 clone and then upgrading it, do it, because I have not regretted one single dollar, one single upgrade I put into this gun. It's worth it 100%, and yeah, this gun is just too much fun, and just buy it already, will you? Just buy the off-brand M4 and upgrade the heck out of it. All right, are there any other parts or accessories that you want to see me try out on the Panzer Arms Benelli M4 clone? If so, be sure to hit me up in the comment section down below, and it would be awesome if you could also include a link to the exact product that you want me to try out, just so I know exactly which one you're talking about. Also, don't forget to check out the off-brand t-shirts. These are awesome. There's a link to those down below as well.